I'm sorry. I was just disturbed. My son was calling me and it knocked my video off, and I'm very disturbed. He has a bad toothache and he needs help. He called me cussing me because he's got a toothache. I know all about tooth pains. I've had bad teeth before, and he has one tooth. And I told him that I understand what he's going through, that I had more than one teeth, my wisdom teeth came in sideways and broke all my teeth. Literally, just pushed them all together until they broke. So I know tooth pain, and I know it is not pleasant. It hurts so bad. And he's threatening people, and he's just being stupid. He really needs prayer. He needs prayer. Really got me upset. And he's cussing me like it's my fault. It's his fault, and he wants to blame everyone else. I'm going to get through this lesson today. Dear Heavenly Father, you know exactly what's going on. You know all these attacks. I rebuke them. I rebuke them, Father. Satan has no place here. He has no place in me. He has no place in this room. He's gone. He don't have any reason to be here. I'm done with him. I'm done with him trying to come against me when I'm trying to do your will. Help me stand strong in you, Father. Help me pray the right prayers. Help me do the right things. Help me say the right things, Father. Father, touch this lesson. Open this lesson up to us. And write your truth upon our hearts, so we know that we can take a stand and we don't have to live like this anymore. And we thank you and praise your name. Salam. Okay. This lesson is Coorperate with Yahuah, with Yahuah. Lesson 20. Some people don't like these truths at all. It is comforting to them to feel that Yahuah is the one who willed for this person to die and that one to fail, this person to have a nervous breakdown, and that marriage to break up. They find comfort in this mentality because it takes all the responsibility away from them, and they're able to say, whatever will be, will be. I understand these truths I'm sharing will unsettle some people, but it's the truth that will set them free. John 8:32. The truth will set us free. This is what's going on with my son. Everything bad in his life, he has to blame everyone else. And he does. I admit he did not have an easy life. But I did everything I could. I worked hard to provide for him. He did not go up without anything, and I disciplined him, and I gave him what he needed. I gave him what he wanted, even though I had to work hard to get it. But for some reason, he don't respect anything. He blames everyone. He blames Yahuah for his bad life and bad choices. And he was taught better than this. I taught him better. So it is easy. I don't understand how they could do that, though. Blame Yahuwah. Well, it's all Yahuwah's fault. And that's what he does. It's all your fault. It's all Yahuwah's fault. Okay. Before my wife and I were married, there is a girl we both were very close friends with. I was with her when she died. She was praying and saying, Yahuwah is going to heal me. Yahuwah is going to heal me. Now is the time. It has to be now. She was believing for healing. However, we were shocked when she died because we honestly expected Yahuwah to heal her. Although it took me almost 4 years to learn enough of Yahuwah's word to figure out what happened, I realized that we had violated so many spiritual laws and had done so many things wrong. At that time in my life, I was under the false teaching that says Yahuwah puts tragedy in your life to perfect you. He'll bless you with sickness and disease because it's through your hardships that you are made better. I have heard that so many times. This is absolutely untrue. But back then, I did not understand enough of the word to know any better. So I believed it and accepted it. Actually, I attended an out-of-state conference where I heard a man teach that Satan was Yahuwah's messenger boy. I heard this too. Anything the devil wants to do in our life, he has to get Yahuwah's permission. Ultimately, Yahuwah is the one that's controlling both the good and the bad. So bad things are actually sent from Yahuwah to perfect us. I have heard this so many times. When I returned home from this conference, I gave a tape of this message entitled, Satan is Yahuwah's messenger boy, to my friend. She immediately listened to it. In the message, this man used the example of a high school boy who was too timid and shy to witness. Even though he wasn't bold enough to speak to others about his faith, he wanted Yahuwah to use him. So he said, Yahuwah, I'll do anything. Put sickness and disease on me so that people will see I am not afraid to die. The very next day, this boy came down with leukemia and eventually died of it. While sick and dying, he witnessed to people. Since he was a football player, the whole school turned out at his funeral. At the ceremony, 4 people were born again. This man used that as an example of how Yahuwah answered this boy's prayer to be a witness and blessing him with leukemia. This girl listened to that tape and prayed the exact same prayer. Yahuwah, give me leukemia so that I can be a witness. The next day, she passed out. They rushed her to the hospital. She had acute leukemia and eventually died of it. Yahuwah was not the one who answered that prayer. He does not put sickness and disease on us. Satan is the one who takes advantage of a prayer like that. They dropped all of their defenses and opened themselves up to leukemia, believing it was of Yahuwah. When this girl died, 4 people were born again at her funeral. I was there. I saw it. Some people thought, well, it must not have been Yahuwah's will to heal her. How dumb can you get and still breathe? I am not saying this to be critical of anyone. I was personally involved in this situation. We were so stupid that we were asking Yahuwah for cancer. If you start asking Yahuwah for cancer, believing He is the source of it, it will come your way. It's not that Yahuwah sent it, but there are lying spirits that masquerade themselves as angels of light who will claim to be his messengers. 2 Corinthians 11:14 states that if you are praying for tragedy in your life, you will get plenty of it, and you'll think it's from Yahuah. There are laws that govern how Yahuah operates. He asked for the sickness and submitted to it, claiming it was Yahuah. Therefore, we never fought against it. We never actively assisted the devil, because in our warped way of thinking, that would have been fighting against Yahuah. We thought he was the one who gave this sickness. I'm sorry. I paused the video. I heard commotion out there and said a little prayer. My son's here and he's, I don't know, I lost where I was. There are laws that govern how Yahuah operates. We asked for the sickness and submitted to it by claiming that it was Yahuah. Therefore, we never fought against it. We never actively resisted the thought he was the... We never actively resisted the devil, because in our warped way of thinking, that would have been fighting against Yahuah. We thought he was the one who gave the sickness. Therefore, we were asking for sickness and believing Yahuah answered our prayer by giving this girl leukemia, and then on the other hand, asking him to take it away. That is double-minded. Let not that double-minded man think that he shall receive anything of Yahuah. James 1:7. That is violating and voiding the laws of Yahuah. This girl died through my influence. I had a part in it. Some people don't want to accept responsibility. Maybe you know someone who died. Perhaps you've lost a marriage because you did not understand the laws of Yahuah. You didn't know how to stand and fight. Those tragedies and negative things you've experienced were not Yahuah's will. It was your fault, or the devil's, or someone else's. Many people do not want to accept the responsibility. They would rather blame Yahuah. I understand how you feel because I have been there. However, I have accepted my responsibility. I realized that I did so many things wrong. I violated Yahuah's word and opened up a door for the devil through false teaching and wrong believing. Let me repeat that. I realized that I did so many things wrong. I violated Yahuah's word and opened up a door for the devil through false teaching and wrong believing. I accepted my responsibility and I have changed. I've believed the truth, and the truth has set me free. Since then, I've seen many people healed of leukemia. Okay, I believed the truth, and the truth have set me free. We have to believe in the truth before it could set us free. I cannot undo what's done, but I can redeem that situation by going and sharing these truths with other people and seeing them set free. In Mark 6, Emmanuel went into his own hometown. When the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works were brought by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, Jose, and Judah, Jose, and Simon? Are they not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him. That's Mark 6, 2 through 3. They're saying how when the Messiah came to his own hometown, the town that he was raised in, he had brothers and sisters. He played with them. He was raised with the people in the town. And these people are like, who are you? You're just a carpenter. We've seen you since you were little. We saw you grow up. Who are you to come here and tell us these things? So they didn't want to hear anything from him because he was only a carpenter. They're like, how do you know all this? We don't want to listen to you. So these people knew him as only the carpenter, the son of Joseph and Mary. That's all. They did not want to see anything past that. Excuse me. However, the truth is that he was not a carpenter or Joseph's son. Emmanuel was the son of Yahuah, who happened to work as a carpenter for a period of time. And people don't understand that. These people knew him in the physical, natural realm. They saw him grow up, they saw what he was doing. So that's all they could see. They couldn't see anything past that. They did not know who he truly was. He looked like them, talked like them. They couldn't see anything past that. Due to this, they rejected his ministry, thinking he is making himself somebody better than us. He grew up here with my kids. I've seen him since he was a little tiny boy. And here he is proclaiming that he's the son of Yahuah, that he could do miracles and all this. Because of their familiarity, because they knew him, completely like that, they were offended at him and rejected him. But Emmanuel said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and in his own house. And he could do no mighty work there, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick people and healed them. Mark 6, 4 through 5. I'm sorry. Okay. Notice how Emmanuel could not do no mighty work in his own home place. It's not that he wouldn't do it, he couldn't. When many people pray and ask for something, and it does not come to pass, they think it is Yahuah that chose not to do it. Yahuah is not free to move independently with us. He has to have a believer who knows what the laws are and takes their authority to flow through. We must cooperate with Yahuah. If you pray and don't see something come to pass, you need to evaluate. Have you cooperated with Yahuah's laws? Is what you prayed for something he promised? If you're praying for something that isn't revealed in his word, stop. It isn't good for you if Yahuah hasn't provided for it. When something like healing is promised to you in the word, take your place of authority as a believer and say, this is the law of Yahuah. So I command my body to respond. In the name of Emmanuel, I am commanding what Yahuah has already done to manifest. But you have to know this. Mark 6:5 says that Emmanuel could do no mighty work. It's not that he wouldn't do it, he couldn't do it. Yahuah himself will not violate our free will. He won't make us receive. He has generated the power, but we must cooperate and flip the switch. We must learn how to receive what Yahuah has already done. It isn't Yahuah who is letting people die and go to hell. People are choosing to go to hell because Yahuah gave them a free choice. However, he's doing everything he can to keep that from coming to pass. No one who is condemned to hell on judgment will be able to put their finger in Emmanuel's face and say, "It's not fair. You did not give me a chance." Yahuah has put obstacles and barriers in front of every person who is headed to hell. They had to climb over their own conscience that has convicted them and told them they were wrong and should repent. People came across their path. There has been obstacle after obstacle. Yahuah is faithful to deal with every person who has ever lived, trying to turn them from their own destructive ways. But they choose to reject his drawing and ignore him. Therefore, no one will be able to accuse Yahuah or Emmanuel. He is not the one sending people to hell. They will know it was absolutely their choice. It is the same with healing. It is not Yahuah who is letting people be sick. He's already provided for their healing for every person. He has already provided for the healing of every single person. However, we are ignorant of his provision and his laws governing how to receive it. Just as Emmanuel could do no mighty work in his own hometown, belief prevents Yahuah from doing what he wants to do in your life. Matthew 13:58 states this. It wasn't the Messiah's unbelief or lack of willingness, but it was their unbelief that hindered his power. Your unbelief stops Yahuah from doing his will. Yahuah will not move in your life without your cooperation. You must be in agreement with him. That's one of his laws. Your free will is something that Yahuah will not violate. You may desire the right end results, but you won't receive them if you disobey every single law along the way. You may wish to enjoy good health, but if you're committing sexual immorality, shacking up with anyone and everyone, those actions, you're putting a law into effect, the law of sowing and reaping. Galatians 6, 7, and 8 tells us. And faith for good health is dead without accompanying works. James 2:17. You cannot just pray for something and then act in a contrary way. That's not how the kingdom works. I recently prayed with a woman in a hospital. She was very close to death and looked terrible. Since she was barely alive, she could not talk or communicate. I tried everything I knew to discern if there was anything I could minister to her or her family, but I couldn't perceive anything. So I just prayed for her the best I knew how and left. Right before I left town, the family called and told me that she was going downhill fast. The doctor only gave her an hour or two to live. Wait. I'm sorry, the music got loud. Okay. The doctor only gave her an hour or two to live. Since I was busy holding a meeting, I sent some friends back to the hospital. After she passed on, my friends were talking to the family. They discovered that this woman had said, "I give up, I'm ready to die." She had quit believing. I was trying to exercise my authority and minister healing, but it was against this woman's will. Healing won't work in a case like that. Yahuah gave us free will. Even a medical doctor will tell you that when someone... I'm sorry. I have to keep pausing it because you don't want to hear what's going on out there. I'm sorry. Even a medical doctor will tell you that once someone loses the will to live, they die. That ailment could even be given something minor that could be treated by medicine, but without the will to live, they will die. However, when some people go beyond medicine's ability to help, and the doctors say there's nothing we could do for them, they're going to die. Some people just have the will to live, and they fight through. Your personal will is very powerful and important. One of Yahuah's laws is that you could have your will in one direction and then expect to get the results that would come from going in another. You cannot just yield to and serve the devil, giving him total access to you, and reap the benefits of a goodly life. It is not because Yahuah won't flow or that he's looking at you as being unworthy. Everyone is unworthy in that sense. Yahuah does not move in your life because you deserve it. However, in order to see his provision, his will manifest, you do have to cooperate with him. You can't just live in sin, live in your own life, and expect things to happen. They don't work that way. We have to always follow the spiritual laws. And if you don't know them, which the Bible tells us some of them, but not a lot, we have to we have to pray about it and say, please, Father, write your laws upon our hearts so we won't sin against you. Teach us your truth and your ways so we can follow in them. And then we'll be able to stand upon your word and our authority in you. And that being said, let me go ahead and close. There's so much going on. I think I need to anoint the house and pray over it again. So tonight I'm going to start fasting and praying for 7 days because I'm tired of things always happening. It's not good. So let's go ahead and say a prayer. We thank you, Father, for this lesson that you have given to us. And we thank you for teaching us and guiding us in all your ways, Father. And I know things are getting better, Father. That's why Satan keeps attacking. But I know you're with me. And you're with us. And we thank you. Bless your name. Okay. Thank you all again. And it's on 28 minutes now, so I don't want it to start another video. I don't know why it does that. I think it's every 31 minutes. I don't know why, but I don't know. So, Yahuah bless you and keep you, and until next time.